The stage was set once again. The lights dimmed, the chatter of the audience swelled, and the cameras locked onto the two figures who had already captured the nation's attention. On one side, Ivanka Trump, polished, composed, carrying herself with a calm assurance that demanded respect. On the other, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, fierce, unapologetic, and ready to challenge every word, every idea, every claim that Ivanka was prepared to put forward. This was not just another debate. This was the aftermath. The clash that had been brewing since their last encounter had spilled over into headlines, online debates, and endless commentary. And now, here they stood again, face to face, prepared to go further than before. Ivanka began the evening with poise. Her voice carried a steady rhythm, deliberate and calculated. She leaned into her words, each one crafted to suggest authority and vision. She spoke of leadership, of calm decision-making in moments of chaos, of her vision of what strength should look like in the modern political arena. She painted herself as the picture of stability, someone who could stand in the middle of a storm and not flinch. The audience listened, leaning forward, captivated by her measured delivery. There was nodding, there were murmurs of approval, and the atmosphere in the room shifted in her favor. But Jasmine Crockett was not one to let momentum slip away. When her turn came, she struck with force. Her voice rose with passion, her words charged with conviction. She challenged Ivanka's calm demeanor, framing it as detachment, as privilege masking itself as leadership. Jasmine leaned into the microphone, her eyes flashing with fire, insisting that true leadership was not about calm detachment, but about standing in the trenches, about being willing to get your hands dirty when the people you serve are struggling. The contrast was stark, and the audience felt it immediately. Ivanka's elegance and control against Jasmine's fire and grit. Two visions of leadership clashing head-to-head. The debate unfolded like a storm. Ivanka would make a claim, steady and deliberate. Jasmine would counter with raw passion, cutting through with emotional weight. Back and forth they went, each exchange pulling the audience in deeper. At moments, the crowd gasped. When Ivanka referenced her own experiences navigating political storms, Jasmine cut in with sharp criticism, questioning whether those experiences were real struggles or insulated battles fought with the comfort of privilege. The crowd reacted instantly, a wave of murmurs sweeping across the hall. But Ivanka did not waver. She responded with icy composure, pointing out Jasmine's fiery delivery as more performance than policy, more spectacle than solution. Her words struck a nerve. For a moment, the room fell silent. Jasmine did not retreat. She pressed harder. Her voice rose, calling out the dangers of mistaking calmness for competence, warning that too often polished words had been used to hide inaction. She stood tall, unflinching, and the audience erupted with applause. The tension grew with each exchange. The moderator, though present, seemed almost irrelevant. This was Ivanka and Jasmine's show now, and they had the audience hooked. Minute after minute, the debate escalated. Ivanka leaned into her arguments with precision, layering her points with stories and references, calculated to showcase her strategic mind. Jasmine countered with raw, unfiltered energy, pulling in the struggles of everyday people, her words painting pictures of communities that could not afford calm detachment, that demanded urgent action. The cameras zoomed in, capturing every expression, every raised eyebrow, every flicker of tension. Social media buzzed as clips spread in real time, each side claiming victory, each side insisting their champion had landed the stronger blows. At the 20-minute mark, the room was divided. Half the audience leaned toward Ivanka's calm, structured approach. The other half was electrified by Jasmine's fiery determination. And in that divide, the true spectacle of the debate came alive. The second half of the debate only deepened the divide. Ivanka sharpened her tone, her calmness now edged with steel. She pointed directly at Jasmine's approach, suggesting that passion without discipline leads to chaos, that fire without strategy burns out before it can build. Her words landed like carefully aimed arrows, each one meant to pierce Jasmine's armor. But Jasmine absorbed them and fought back with even greater intensity. She invoked history, she invoked the people, she invoked the struggles that had too often been overlooked by polished speeches. Her rebuttals were fierce, her delivery relentless. Every word dripped with conviction, and the audience felt the heat of her fire. As the debate pushed toward its climax, the tension in the room reached its peak. The crowd was no longer quiet. They were part of the spectacle, gasping, cheering, reacting to every line. Ivanka's poised arguments held weight. Jasmine's passionate responses ignited energy, and the collision between them became more than a debate. It became theater, a stage where two visions of leadership battled for dominance. And then, the closing moments. Ivanka straightened, her final words echoing with the confidence of someone who believed she had held her ground. She painted her closing statement as a call for reason, for structure, for vision built on steadiness rather than impulse. Jasmine, in her last words, unleashed a surge of energy that left the audience buzzing. She framed her statement as a rallying cry, a declaration that leadership must be bold, must be willing to disrupt, must carry the voice of those who could not afford calm silence. The crowd roared. The cameras captured it all, the defiance in Jasmine's stance, the unshaken composure in Ivanka's eyes. The electricity in the room that suggested this clash was far from over. The debate ended, but the story did not. Across the country, screens lit up with commentary, reactions, and speculation. Who had won? Who had faltered? Who had captured the hearts of the people? And who had planted seeds of doubt? The aftermath was not a conclusion. It was a beginning. And as the stage lights dimmed, as Ivanka and Jasmine exited in opposite directions, one thing was clear. This was not the end of their rivalry. It was only the start of a battle that the world would be watching, round after round.